Welcome back, TJ Houshmandzadeh, Fox Sports, played for 11 years, Pro Bowler. By the way, had John Harbaugh as one of his coaches, Dan Quinn. Let's talk about John Harbaugh. I was saying 2 days ago, I said, if I think of Pete Carroll or Sean McDermott or Ron Rivera or Mike Tomlin, those are pure defensive coaches. But Harbaugh's hard to pigeonhole. He started with running backs, then the tight ends, then he went special teams. He's a culture creator. I don't look at him as a defensive coach. I don't even look at Jim Harbaugh as an offensive coach because his teams don't throw the ball down the field. They didn't in Michigan. I just think those guys, it's a power of personality. So you were briefly with John Harbaugh. Give me your interpretation of what separated him.
I like John Harbaugh a lot. We text this week. Like we stay in contact just because of the season that I played for him. We just got along very well, and we've just stayed in contact.
You're an adult. You're a professional.
And it's crazy because who's the best coaches in the league? And everybody names 3, 4, 5 guys.
I never mentioned John.
He's by far and away one of the best coaches in the league, if not the best.
Is he as good a coach as you've ever had?
Yes. Yes. And I tell everybody this, and I was only there 1 year. It's the way he treats you. Whether he listens to your input or not, he makes you feel like your voice matters. And he's a player's coach, but it's not easy. And so it's no secret, or why are the Ravens always good? They've been good since whether they've won a Super Bowl and they have an opportunity to win another one, but they are just always good under his watch. He just does a great job on both sides of the ball.
And unlike true defensive coaches, he's got an absolute feel for offense. Part of it is probably so many discussions with his brother, right? I mean, it does help when your brother's the other side of the ball. And the other thing is he took Flacco, big arm, not a mover, pocket. And then he took Lamar, the opposite. And he has embraced both and won big with both. I think part of what makes him successful is that his brother's an offensive coach, and they've leaned on each other for coaching hires.
This is where they come. Their father was a coach. This is in his DNA. Since he could walk and talk, it's been football. But probably more than anything, he lets his coaches coach.
He does.
There's a lot of coaches, they want to meddle on, if I'm a defensive coach, 13 seconds left in the game. We have a chance to advance in the playoffs. Let me take over this defensive play call in here for these last 13 seconds. Oh, I blew it. Sorry. That's what happens. Offensive coach, let's run this play instead. He lets his coaches coach. He empowers them. And so the coaches don't want to let him down knowing how he is. But just my experience, I told him this, and I tell everybody this, one of the best coaches in the league. I played 1 year there, and I feel like I played a ton of years there for the Ravens because of the guys that I played with, and specifically Harbaugh being the coach. I still communicate with him to this day, and it's been over a decade.
Now, I saw a story years ago, it may have been on HBO, where it was about John and Jim. Jim runs a little hotter than John. John feels like, there's always like an alpha or the brothers. John's competitive. Jim's like different. And I think it would be easier to play with John than Jim, but I also think Jim's amazing. If the Chargers didn't hire Jim Harbaugh, and they were in big discussions last night, I was told, would it be a massive mistake? I mean, how do you view that transaction potentially?
Would it be a mistake? It would be disappointing because you seem to have the team that's ready to go now. You have to hire a coach that can possibly compete and beat Andy Reid. Like, that's your goal. Everybody in that division is chasing the Chiefs. And so you feel if Harbaugh's my coach, I'm not at a coaching deficit when we match up with the Chiefs.
That's right.
We have a chance from that perspective. Our quarterback may not be Mahomes, but he's on par. It's close, very close. And so it would be a disappointment if the Chargers didn't come to an agreement with Harbaugh. I'd be shocked if we don't hear something here by the end of the day.
Have you talked to players who have played under Jim?
Oh, yeah. So when I left the Ravens, the following year was a lockout. And so John called Jim, and I should have signed with the Niners. That's the year they went to the Super Bowl. I signed with the Raiders because of Hugh Jackson. And so I don't know Jim very well, but my interaction, I don't mind a coach that can go hot. I want to win. Like, go hot. If it's going to make us win games, hot as you want. Burn me. But I want to win, and I want a coach that's going to push me to be my best and reach my potential. And so I don't mind that at all. You look at what he's done everywhere he's been. And we all know San Diego, Stanford, Michigan. We all know that. The 49ers, he's a winner, and players want to win. So you can be hot. As long as we win, I'll put up with whatever.
I bring you on, and it's too early for this, but I am thinking about this. It is, many believe, the best quarterback draft class in college in a long time. So how many of these, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, how many will you work with? How many do you know currently? Because you have a history of being very accurate on this show.
I personally won't work with any of them, but I'll be out there, and I communicate with them. We'll throw. And so Jaden Daniels will be out there. Penix will be out there. McCarthy will be out there.
Okay, J.J. McCarthy, who you like, and I don't know. I don't see it.
But McCarthy was out here this past summer. I actually was impressed. Like, I was like, wow, he's bigger than I thought. Really good arm. Pretty athletic. But we'll really get on the field here starting next week. And I'll form my opinion. Some may not like it.
Now, you the one that told us you're making a big mistake if you don't draft Justin Herbert. You told us.
I thought Herbert was just his arm. But it's more that goes into it, and we'll be able to see if guys can layer the ball.
Is Caleb, in your opinion, a lock one?
You have to draft Caleb.
But there's a lot of noise.
You have to draft him number one, because if you don't, and Caleb Williams is that dude,
you're fired.
You're losing your job.
No, it's like the LeBron Melo thing.
Yeah.
You had to draft Andrew Luck. You had to draft Elway. You had to draft LeBron over Melo. You have to draft him number one. It's job preservation.
Even if you think
there's a dad issue,
you have to draft him, because if he turns out to be what everybody believes he will be, you're going to lose your job. So they're going to draft him, whether it works out or not. Very rare do you see a head coach get to draft two quarterbacks in the first round, and like the Bears are with Eberflus and Justin Fields, and now possibly Caleb Williams, and survive, not making Justin Fields be what many expected. But, yeah, you have to draft Caleb Williams.
But there's a lot of noise, and I like him. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of, is he putting in the time noise? I'm just telling you what I'm hearing.
I don't know. We all want to win. We all want to play well. I don't know if the commitment's there. I don't know him like that, but we'll find out. That football field is a truth machine. I don't care what you did in college. When you get to the National Football League, it's completely different.
Okay, for the record, let's talk Jordan Love last weekend, because Jordan was at Utah State. You may or may not have seen him. Are you surprised how good he got over 8 weeks?
No. So, little story, quick story.
No quick stories on this show.
When he comes out,
slow stories.
When he's coming out of college, I remember texting Marcellus Wiley, Jordan Love should probably go in the top 10. He's really good. And Marcellus reminded me of that text message this year. You still think that? I'm like, yeah. And so what I saw then is what I thought he would be, a really good quarterback. He didn't play this season didn't start off well.
No.
And then he just turned it on. You got to give Jordan Love a ton of credit. But more than that, you got to give LaFleur a ton of credit for this development, because many were saying Aaron Rodgers is the reason LaFleur is a great head coach.
Oh, no, that's right.
And now you have Jordan Love play this way. They're all young.
Have you noticed? I talked about this yesterday. So people always think anytime I bring up Aaron, I'm being critical. It's all data. So Aaron's last year with LaFleur, he was middle of the pack, 27th in first half turnovers. So the first half, as you know, is the scripted half. The second half is like, you got to make plays, Lamar. You can only script so much of this game. It's like this show. First hour, we kind of know where we're going. After that, you just hope stories break.
Yeah.
So in a football game, first two series always kind of scripted. First half, DeMeco Ryans sort of keeps the game on the fairway. Second half, Lamar takes it out and does what he wants with it, right? So you can only coach so much. If you look at first quarter numbers for Jordan Love this year and Aaron last year, that's the secret sauce. They were the best first quarter team. No turnovers. Plus 47 since week 9. And this goes back to Aaron didn't always take the play. Jordan is a playmaker, but was willing to stay on script in the first half. Now, sometimes he's erratic. He's a little gunslinger. But it was interesting when I watched Jordan Love. The part of this story that's fascinating is how much better he was as a first quarter and first half player than Aaron was. Now, Aaron's probably better in second halves because Aaron's got that index card of a million snaps. But my thing with when you get great athletes, Lamar, Jordan Love, Allen, some of those guys aren't all coachable. Jordan Love is clearly willing to be coached. His first quarter numbers are insane. That's LaFleur. To your point, that's coaching. LaFleur. That's script.
That's coaching. And sitting and playing behind Aaron Rodgers helps a ton. That helps. You should be able to learn from that. You can see in how he throws the ball at times, a little Aaron Rodgers-ish.
He did. Leaves his feet.
You pick up some things when you play with great players. You'd be a fool not to. You can learn from the best players in the world. You can learn from the worst players in the world.
Tell me who you stole from.
Everybody that I played against and with. Everybody. When the season would end, I would get a DVD. We had DVDs back then.
All
right? So I told the video guys, make me a DVD, and I would just, all the receivers, all their catches. And I would just watch it in off season, in practice. A guy can get cut. If he does something that I like, I'm going to try it. And if I can do it, I'm going to put it in my game. If not, I'm going to trash it. The best, you have to learn from everybody. You can learn from the good and the bad. It doesn't matter who it is. If you're not learning and you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And so he learned from Aaron Rodgers. But what Jordan Love has done, the Packers are going to be a problem moving forward because they have a young group of skilled players that are
not paying any of them for 3 years.
And they're all really good. They're all really good. And so, yeah, LaFleur, he earned his paycheck this year for sure.
All right. Quickly. Ravens, Chiefs, you like?
The Ravens. Joe Thuney isn't playing. The Dolphins pass rush. They're injured. Buffalo, a little old on defense, a little injuries. This Ravens defense is going to eat them up.
Niners, Lions.
That's a tough one.
Interesting. That's a tough one, he said.
It is a tough one because Green Bay ran the ball very effectively against the Niners. That long run at the end that Aaron Jones breaks, if that's Jahmyr Gibbs, touchdown. That's 6 points. Jahmyr Gibbs getting open field is 6 points. Aaron Jones gets caught, they settle for a field goal. Like, it's a different ball game.
And
is
both
Debo,
Green Bay and Detroit, great O-line play.
Will Debo play? If he plays, I like the Niners. If he doesn't, I think he can go either way.
Oh, interesting. Former player with a very... Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.